Hello everyone, welcome to the video. Today I want to talk about serious injuries and returning to running after a serious injury. And by serious injury, I mean broken bones, in my case, and surgeries to repair those serious injuries. So in my situation, that would mean hardware, or metal throughout the bone to make it grow back correctly. And so I want to start by telling you my story. In 2022 or 2021, I was in a very bad car wreck, and I basically broke a lot of bones. I broke my femur. My femur actually came out of my leg, the bone itself. So I broke my femur, it came out of my leg here. And I broke my hip, and I broke my foot, and I broke my wrist. Now, the main thing was the femur and the hip, and all these injuries required emergency surgeries. So I was in a lot of trouble at the time. So basically, what they did was they did a surgery to where they repaired my femur, my broken femur, and they put a rod starting here at the top of my hip. There's a scar here, and going down into my femur, and screwed it in at the bottom down here. So there's a rod from here to here, and then connecting this rod, because of my broken hip, to another screw into my hip bone to hold that one in place as well. So there's a lot of metal there. I also have metal in my wrist, which is not necessarily what I want to talk about in today's video, because it's more about running, right? So you're not really using your wrist when you're running, but you're using your hips when you're running all the time. It's a constant thing. So this process took a long time to recover from. We're talking 6 months without even being able to walk or stand, and a lot of physical therapy. 4 days a week for months and months and months and months and months until I could even bend my leg again. I couldn't even bend my leg for a while, nor stand up or even walk. But about 4 or 5 months in, I was able to start standing and walking again. And it wasn't until the doctors told me a year, at least, that I would be able to run again. Well, a year had passed. I was still having some pain in my hip. And, it wasn't feeling that great. So I was kind of scared to start running again. But I decided I wanted to do it. I wanted to give it a try after about a year and 2 months or so. Or it might have been longer, about a year and 6 months. And so my first run back, it was horribly painful. I was having shocking electric pain shooting down my leg from the hardware. I could feel was like rubbing against my tendons, and I don't know if the bone was just prepared for that sort of impact, but it was very difficult. Very painful, very, very painful to start back running. But you realize with these things are built to last. These things are not built to be removed. These are supposed to last the rest of your life. It's a metal rod in your leg, so it's not going to break. So I had that in my mind. I was like, okay, this is not going to break, so I can deal with this. So I kept running and kept running. I started every other day, like 1 to 2 miles a day. I would just try to build and build and build. And eventually the pain started like wearing away. It's almost like my body sort of started recognizing the way it was built now. It has a new shape to it. It has a new rod in it. And my body had to sort of adjust to the fact that that was there. My nervous system had to sort of adjust to that. So then the pain started reducing over time. And I think the bone got stronger, and then started growing more, and then it became more dense. And then now, after what has been 3 years of consistent running since then or so, 2.5, 3. I'm virtually at a level to where I have very small pain. Occasionally in my hip, like on cold days, I'll feel it more. And then the hardware to me wasn't installed perfectly. So here's the top of my femur, the little ball. The rod sort of protrudes out from that a bit and kind of goes into some of the tendons and ligaments in this area here. So when I kind of do this, sometimes it'll kind of get stuck right in here, it feels like. But it's not like, it's just more of like a clicking sound, and it's not like anything that's that painful. It's more like a weird discomfort. But the thing is that your body learns to adjust to these things. So my body almost sees it as part of itself now, and that is, I've sort of developed my running form based on that thing being there. And yeah, I have experienced a few injuries, I think, that are due to the sort of imbalance that this may cause psychologically to my running form. But if you're careful enough and you do the right mitigation exercises and things to prevent, injury from occurring in the first place, you can strengthen those parts of your body that might like have a hard time sort of letting go of what happened to it and realizing that it's okay again. And you can kind of train the body to get past that and then get closer to your old form again. Currently, I've been racing at a pretty high level. I mean, I would say that I'm 95% of my old running self. I mean, I ran in D2 in college and in high school, and then I stopped for a while, but in the middle of college I stopped. But now I'm like loving it now. Like, I'm so happy to be running now. And that's another topic for another video, but these things, these kind of injuries, they really make you appreciate what you have, the abilities you have. And I fell back in love with running again. For a while I hated it, and now I absolutely love running. I don't want to ever stop running. And so, yeah, so I just wanted to kind of clear up the whole thing with like, yeah, at first if you get hardware put in your bones, don't be afraid that your bones are going to break or something horrible is going to happen. These are built to last. Your bones are fine with these things. As long as you let them heal properly, give them the time, you will be able to continue doing your stuff again. I'm not a doctor, but this is what most would probably say. And also is that your body will slowly begin to adjust to the hardware. And then it'll sort of like take it as part of itself, and then you'll be able to almost get back to your full form again. At least that's what I've seen. And I'm in like probably one of the top shapes I've been in my life in terms of cardiovascular strength, I think, and mental strength. And so, yeah, so I just wanted to give you guys, anyone that might be struggling with injury that has always been a runner or endurance athlete, give you some hope in that you can build back up and you can get close to your old form. Maybe not perfect 100%, but you can get really close back to it. And just to focus on being grateful for being able to do the things still. I mean, that's the main thing for me, and I think it's important to keep that into consideration. But yeah, so let me know if you guys have any questions about injuries regarding broken bones and hardware and getting back to your old exercise running habits. And feel free to drop the questions in the comments, and I will talk to you guys later. Thanks.